Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one, back with another one. I like to speak on the obliteration of the Breakfast Club. I know it's a hot topic all around last week, and it's everybody's still talking about the obliteration. I've seen a lot of videos I forgot to cover, but we're going to talk about non-political media group in the morning, like a mainstream media radio show versus a political pundit, but he's running for president for the 2024 election. Now, I do not agree with yours truly, Larry Elder, says all the time, but he destroyed him. Like it's just basic knowledge. He understands that he's not everybody's cup of tea, but Larry Elder's not a factor. Really, he's not gonna win the nomination. It ain't really much, but people gonna vote for the obvious truth, Donald Trump. But Donald Trump ain't. He's dealing with legal stuff right now. They done had him locked up or whatever. But ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about that. But most people want to big up him all the time, but in reality, that's what you got. And I think when I saw the other day, I seen several clips of him destroying them. It's not obviously that they're actually one and the same if you really think about it. I mean, they're two c words. I ain't gonna say that rhymes with the rat. I'm just gonna say raccoon, by the way. But if you take the rat off, you know what I mean. That's derogatory towards us historically, but in reality, that's what they are to me. That's just how I look at Charlemagne, and he ain't no god. He's a fraud, by the way. Charlemagne the fraud, and you got old boy, Larry Elder. It sounds like it wasn't even a no contest debate. It's just like I like what he said about the nigga wake up call. He threw it right back at Charlemagne, and then talking about Biden said, "If you ain't black, you don't vote for me." And most black people voted for either side, no matter if you're Democrat, Republican. Both parties are garbage. They're controlled by the same Masonic order. I'm not gonna get into it. That's historical facts, by the way. Do your real research, not the fake research on these sites, but do your real research. Who runs it? That's the problem with these idiots, man. They think they got everything under control, but don't realize that politics, it is symmetrical what goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not nothing personal or anything. It's just like people get caught up on the nonsense. So in reality, you see why Larry Elder destroyed him because it was easy competition. These people don't know anything about politics. They know a little. I know a little bit, and I study more than anybody. I study the ideologies. Now that's all when I talk about politics, I study the ideologies, where they come from and all this stuff. It's not that hard to not know. Well, actually, it's not that hard to know about politics. If you study politics, you don't have to be a scholar of it. You don't have to go to school for it. No, you already know it's a bunch of BS, and people see it. Most people are dumb and derelict anyway. They think this is facts, which is not. It's lies by the Masonic order and the people that runs the fucking planet. And I disagree with them on the fashion on both of them. No, fascism is control of people's freedom or whatever, but it is dominance. And they try to say something else. It's not true. These people are so dumb. I got so many fascism videos. Larry Elder never say this. It shows how ignorant he is. Like this proves my point. Why I say these people talk a good game, but they ain't really about it. They ain't really about it. Larry Elder's not about it. I don't know why people vote for him, but I get it. Yeah, he cooled a bunch of nobodies that can't debate right. Like y'all not impressive, bro. Like stop the BS for a minute. Y'all act like y'all got the knowledge, but y'all really don't. Like one C word to another C word, chin checking each other, and it's pathetic. You niggas are so derelict, man. Like that do these reactions, a bunch of C words that ain't got no knowledge, that's slow as shit, but think they know everything, but don't know a damn thing. It's how pathetic these things are on the internet. I swear I can't stand YouTube sometimes. They so stupid. And then you wonder why I study this shit all the time and I read, and nobody's not gonna respect it because if you're saying something educational, it don't get no views. And of course, because niggas is derelict, they're slow. They listen to what the so-called, white people or masses or Esau. And this is why I don't mess with half of y'all on the internet. It's like a third of you. It's like a small portion, but the majority, they're idiots. Fuck these niggas, man. But this is what I'm talking about. See, Larry Elder, he chin checked Charlamagne. That wasn't even a debate. It was garbage from the start. And what hurts the Breakfast Club? They don't have no political pundit on their show, on a radio show. They usually have to somebody that knows about politics. Charlamagne's not the expert of that. He's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot from South Carolina. Okay, he's retarded. Says some off the wall bullshit. I used to watch this show when they interview the rappers and stuff like that. That's cool. But once you start getting to the political arena, know your place, man. Study the philosophy, study your research. Don't read off a teleprompter when someone said that's true. And Larry Elder does the same thing with a teleprompter in certain interviews, and sometimes he don't. He knows his shit, but he ain't the smartest black conservative. He ain't getting no praise. Conservatives are not the majority of the Republican Party. Y'all do know that. They don't run shit. I always said liberals run the Republican Party. They're the original liberals are Republican racists. They don't give a damn about who's who. When it comes to us, they don't get. Look what they did to Herman Cain and all them guys. You gonna learn your lesson. Neither one of them had. Well, actually, Larry always had his nigga wake up call. He knew his place. He'll find out if he really runs and it gets it. Ain't nobody gonna vote for him. Tell him how he lost to Gavin Newsom. And Gavin Newsom ain't shit either, but I'm just saying he still won because people trust him because they're deluded. That's why California's gonna be in the ground, bro. No one likes California. It's dying. They stop fucking with that shit. That pro-Mexican shit is played out. Ain't nobody fucking with that shit. And they kill each other like roaches too. But black people, we do it because of self-hate. This ain't got nothing to do with racism, but he's right about the single parenting. Well, niggas, y'all been derelict for years and years. We ain't gonna do shit about it. Half y'all narcissists. You don't realize that y'all think might is right and y'all ain't always right all the time. That's how I get from you niggas in the so-called black community. Y'all a joke, man. I ain't gonna say we. There's no we. It's division. It's always been this way. It's been internalized. But dudes always want to come at it from an angle. Like, you think I give a damn about what a nigga say? I really don't at this point. Neither one of them are that intelligent. People try to say they're intelligent. No, they're not. They're still stupid. And they controlled by the so-called white man. Those are his bitches. I hate to say that about him, but it's the truth. No, it's the truth. Like, anytime they get in these discussions, it goes nowhere. Neither one is right. And both of them ain't gonna do you no good. I wouldn't listen. That debate was trash all the way through. That's just me personally. I have a different way of seeing the debate. I'll bring information, show it in front of him, and have a PowerPoint debate. That's my style of debate. The debate and memorizing on this shit, that ain't real. That's fake. Unless you're talking about some interest that you have and you show examples, you can come up with research. Yeah, we can memorize it a few times, but sometimes you got to give them a PowerPoint. You don't have to rattle off stats. Stats is not a real debate. Trust me. Anybody can debate stats. Everybody can see what the data shows. Yeah, we know we fucked up, but what took us there to show that? Larry Elder was not really debating. He was just trying to school Charlamagne the fraud, and Charlamagne didn't know shit anyway. You went on the show and agreed because he was trying to get his voting thing up. That's what basically what Larry was trying to do. He was trying to get his voting running for president, and they gonna still, if he lose, who's gonna win into the game? Who has the last laugh? Breakfast Club. They still gonna have the last laugh, and they gonna clown his ass. That's all they gonna do. This ain't got nothing to do with the black community. That's just, if you up in New York, what they gonna talk about? Bullshit. They're gonna talk about a bunch of bullshit, and that's what they're gonna do all day long. And you niggas, man, on YouTube, y'all pathetic, man. And I don't break down fascism for these slow derelict motherfuckers. That's for both sides. I got it right here, the philosophy research right here. Introduction. Fascism is an authoritarian nationalist political ideology that exalts nation and often race, they say often race, above the individual, and that stands for centralized, autocratic. That's like right wing, lean towards that, like that boy in North Korea. He's an autocrat, autocracy, by the way. Autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader. That's fascism, authoritarian leader. Obama's not a fascist, by the way. Now they keep calling Obama a socialist. He's neither one of those things. Obama's not a communist or a socialist. Anybody say he's a communist socialist is utterly retarded. He's neither of those things. I would say Obama is conservative. He's more conservative than George Bush, even though he's a Democrat. There's a lot of conservatives in the Democratic Party. 95% of Democrats are conservative. Y'all should know that, right? Y'all think they're liberal. Most liberals are Republican historically and currently right now. They do not like niggas. And that's proven. Larry Elder's going to find out they don't fuck with him like that. I'm sorry. And they all lean towards the right historically. Ain't no left and right thing. If you want to talk about a true leftist is a Marxist. He's an anarchist. He's a guy that believes in nihilism all day. And that's my definition of a leftist. A true leftist that believes in socialism and communism. And you see how that found out. Look what happened to Hugo Chavez's death in his country. America shut that shit down. Yeah, he was thriving and said F them and called them the devil. Look what happened to him. How'd that work out for him? So I'm saying, like, socialism, communism do not rule the world. That's a lie. It's capitalism of our country, and I hate to say this, fascism and autocracy rules the rest of the world because they have this Roman imperialistic ideology where we get it from. This country, America's known for that. It's based off Roman theology and their ideology knowledge, right? And the Masonic order. Don't get me started because a lot of people always misquote fascism. Fascism is authoritarian, nationalistic political ideology, but it exalts nation, often race above the individual. And that stands for centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader. Severe economic, social rementation, forcibly suppression of the opposition, and it's often claimed to be concerned notions of the cultural decline and decadence and seeks to achieve the national rebirth by suppressing the interests of the individual instead of promoting cults of unity and energy and purity. Economics. Fascism is seen as itself a third way between laissez-faire capitalism on the one hand and communism or social or on the other. That's what they try to use, right? But it's usually not the case. It's the opposite of those two. You need a dictatorial leader. So Obama's not neither of those things. You could say he's a conservative that don't care about people, but he's working with autocratic people and leaders on the side when he was in office. Yeah. Bush did the same thing too, but he was on the wrong party being conservative. You're not welcome in the Republican Party. That's that Barry Goldwater syndrome. See, Barry Goldwater destroyed. I mean, actually, he didn't destroy. The Democrats destroyed his ideology, and the Republicans didn't fuck with him. He had no votes. He got bodied in 1964. Man, don't get me started, man. Don't ever get me started. These niggas are so goddamn derelict and slow. It's ain't funny. It acknowledged the roles of private property, the profit motive as a legitimate incentives for productivity, but the only insofar as they do not conflict with the interests of the state. Fascist governments tend to nationalize key industries, closely manage their currencies, and make massive state investments. But they also tend to introduce price controls, wage controls, and other types of economic planning measures, such as state-regulated allocations of resources, especially in the financial raw materials sectors. But the term fascismo was coined by the Italian fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, 1883 1945. The self described philosopher of fascism, Giovanni Gentile, 1875 1944. It is derived from the Latin word fasces, and a Roman symbol consists of bundle of rods tied bundles of rods tied around an axe, used to suggest strength through unity. It was originally used to refer specifically to Mussolini's political movement that ruled Italy from 1922 to 1943, but has subsequently also used to describe other regimes. Fascism usually involves in some degree of all the following elements. Nationalism. It did not say socialism. Okay. Let's read the first part again. I'm reading. I'll read the first part again for you, for the dummies that don't know. And don't listen to that weak ass debate. And when anybody that talks about fascism, they need to be quiet. Tell them to do the research, the actual research, what I'm saying right here. Nationalism. Or we going to get to nationalism. It says nationalism. Okay, let's read from the top. Fascism usually involves some degree of all of the following elements. Nationalism, based on the cultural, racial, or religious attributes of a region. America is very nationalistic. Yes. We could be totalitarianism. Don't get me started. State regulations, nearly every aspect of public, private sectors. They do. That's why we got corporations. The only difference is we're not broadcasting enough. But we do love fascism. We don't love socialism, but we love fascism. America's always been fascist. They lie so damn much. So don't listen to these fake politicians all the time. They ain't about the people. They're frauds. I wouldn't vote for Larry Elder no way because he's no different than Charlemagne. They're the same idiots of the same coin. They understand what Larry is. He was gonna crush that, and that wasn't even a debate. It was a no contest. Statism, state intervention, and personal, social, economic matters. Now, so-called black people, Israel, do your own research. Don't listen to guys like Larry and the guys on the Breakfast Club. Do your own research. Stop listening to these derelict niggas that don't know shit. They bow down to the system. Okay, like she wants to call that female. They don't know shit, man. Do the research. At least I do it on this channel. Patriotism, positive, supportive. Talk about patriotism, positive, supportive attitudes to the fatherland. Here we go. Autocracy. They don't bring up the word autocracy. Tell the fake conservatives bring up autocracy. They won't do it. Autocracy, political power in the hands of a single self-appointed leader. I mean, self-appointed ruler, like you got in North Korea. He believes in autocracy. Look at Duvalier from Haiti. Well, some people pronounce it Duvalier, but it don't matter. But Duvalier, they would say. Francois Duvalier from Haiti. And the guy from Pol Pot, and then you got the one from North Korea. But that's a whole nother story. But that is autocracy they was practicing, even though they support fascism as their whole government. Militarism, another one, maintaining a strong military capability and being prepared to use it to aggressively defend or promote national interests, like you see in North Korea. Great example. There's several countries used to do that. They failed, but North Korea is a great example. China doesn't count. China's more capitalist than you think. They don't represent what that boy over there represents. And corporatism, encouragement of unelected bodies which exert control over the social, economic life or their respective areas. That's corporatism. Now, populism, direct appeals to the masses, usually by a charismatic leader. That's populism, by the way. Collectivism, stress on a human interdependence rather than on the importance of the separate individuals. Now, this is what fascism usually involves some degree of some of all of the following elements. Like I said, collectivism, populism, corporatism, I just mentioned, militarism, autocracy, patriotism, statism, totalitarianism, nationalism. That's what it. I hate when people they don't bring this up. Just research philosophy based and it tells you, and go to other research. It usually also expresses the opposition to the following. See, these people when they bring up liberalism and communism and Marxism, they're explaining the opposition. Now, the left is not an opposition, by the way. I don't believe in the fake left they talking about. They're not liberals, by the way. The left is anarchists. Liberals usually lean towards the right, but liberal policies of minimal interference by the government, both politically and economically. That's the opposition, but it's always in the middle / right. Some people say there's a liberal left. It's no such thing as liberal left. It's usually the right. They show their racism through that, but they do support autocracy, fascism governments. But that's one thing. But that's the opposition they try using. Communism is similar to that, but generally any communal social organization. Actually, communism means communalism. That's all it means. And when it says word communalism, and Marxists it's a small version of communism. It's just based off Karl Marx. That's all it is. It ain't nothing special. Democracy is another form of conservatism. That's all it is. Majority rule, competitive elections with freedom of speech, which America is not a democracy. America is a republic They support fascism and they support autocracy in some level. They support corporations, like I told you up and above. That's a fact. Individualism doesn't work. Independence, importance of individual self-reliance and liberty. See, what these so-called black conservatives, they want to argue liberalism, democracy, and they don't know what the hell they talking about. Okay? We're going by what fascism usually, and I had to correct them on that. Nationalism, totalitarianism, statism, patriotism, autocracy, militarism, and corporatism, populism, and collectivism. That's what these dummies don't tell you. Types of fascism. Italian fascismo, is an authoritarian political movement which ruled by Italy from 1922 to 1943 under the leadership of Benito Mussolini, 1883 to 1945. It was the original model which inspired other fascist ideologies and generally referred to simply as fascism. It grew out of Mussolini's desire to reaffirm the Italian national identity and the pride after so many centuries of disunity. Leading up to the unification of 1870s, similar movements appeared throughout the world, including Europe, Japan, Latin America between World War One and World War Two. And you got Nazism, of course. You already know Hitler and his ideology, similar fascist ideology. He's not a socialist, by the way. He's anti-communist. He never liked communism. He liked autocracy. He liked totalitarianism. And he liked what you say, a populism. He's a type person. Neo-fascism, same thing. So, yeah, that's for you dummies out there about fascism. Y'all don't know shit. Y'all don't know a damn thing. Y'all don't know a damn thing. I'm going to have to put this up. I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to leave this because apparently y'all don't know shit. I'm going to read. Yeah, it's a little long today. I had to talk my shit, but you know how it is. My response to it all. And I'm just gonna, you know how I get into my politics. I have to do what I have to do. So it's very noted. Okay. And I'm not gonna watch the video. Y'all can watch it on your own time. And I'm not going. And this is the bullshit they had. But he destroyed them. I've seen clips of. I haven't seen a whole interview. He destroyed the Breakfast Club. Everybody's making jokes about it, and even Kwame Brown making jokes. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because black folks is derelict. I try to tell y'all that they're stupid. That's the average niggas. I hate to say that about niggas, but niggas is stupid. Stop trusting neither. Larry Elder is running for president. Yeah, in 2024 election against everybody. I don't think he's gonna win though. While he says a long shot that he will even make the debate stage. His data driven approach to the issues facing America is needed now more than ever. They say that's what people say. And I got this from the lawoffice.com. They're gonna say he schooled them. He did. That didn't know politics, but he was wrong on the fascism part. That's why I disagree with him on that. He sound like a robot and try to tell you can't use books. You gotta actually do the research, bro. We know what that is. See, he's a typical conservative that don't know shit. I study this shit, man. I will crush anybody in those debates, and I'll pull that research right now. Because niggas don't read, bro. Stats don't mean nothing. See, he wants to argue. That ain't gonna work for me, nigga. Please. Nobody agree with him. We ain't stupid like that. He'll get destroyed by anybody. That stat shit don't work on people like that. Yeah, Elder is smart and he's a black and white. We can only speculate why the mainstream media ignores him. Yeah, I mean, he's black. Yeah, he's black. Okay, he's black. And while we can only speculate, okay, excuse me for that. I thought it said white. It says while we can only speculate why the mainstream media ignores him. One only has to watch his appearance to the Breakfast Club to understand why his voice is silenced. So of course, it's going to be silenced because once you start speaking truth to power, he's trying to pray that black stuff on the Republican side that don't work on black people. There ain't nobody listen to that shit. They ain't gonna vote for his ass no way. It echoes for all races. Like if you fuck with the Republican Party, you fuck with they nonsense. They try to say Republicans are conservative, which they're not. 95% of them are liberal deep down in the voting booth. They believe on certain issues. Now, Democrats are more conservative, don't care about nobody but themselves. We know that. Both parties ain't shit. Conservatives do not run the country, y'all. It's liberals that run the country. That's why they preach the utilitarian concepts. I'm gonna have to tell y'all again. Utilitarianism is killing America. That's what's killing America. Okay, he ain't gonna talk about that because they're fraudulent. They're on the same docking ticket. So people need to know their place, man. And this woman is a clown show. We ain't gonna press that. It's simply not that true that systematic racism is a significant problem in America. That part I do agree with him on. That's true. But I mean, there is some systematic, but it's not. He say it ain't happening, but in some areas, most people say they disagree with Larry and try to say it ain't. There's some aspects of it. To me, right now, it's not because the system's collapsing. By the way, in case y'all don't know, that war in Ukraine affects everybody. So race ain't got nothing to do with it. Is there some racial elements in this country? He's trying to say yes, there is. He has some slip ups there, and I heard what he said with the Charlemagne. But in reality, that's just common sense that most people got to understand. Yeah, Esau and now all them other people hate us specifically, but there's class amongst everybody. Classism is everywhere. I'm trying to tell you, classism is the real problem around the world, and it's always been this way. That color shit don't matter. That's what no one cares. That's what he's trying to say, and it's true. It's phasing out because you seeing them treating us better now. Shouts out to the young one, and it's over with. You know, the system, what they talking about is dying off, baby girl. You ain't doing your research enough. I gave the facts on the Breakfast Club and helped me get up on the debate stage to debunk the lie of systematic racism by giving $1 today. That's what they said, the lie. Now I understand black people say there's none, no, because it is what it is, and that's Tater Tot. He's another clown. Ain't nobody listen to that bullshit because they ain't gonna be voted in. They sound the same ideology that doesn't work. It's not for black people. I'm trying to tell you. That's not factual. It's just a bunch of BS. He's trying to get points so people vote for him. Ain't nobody vote for him. Only people that's gonna vote for him is derelict rednecks and slow niggas like Charlemagne and all these other niggas. They'll vote for him. But in reality, they're not the best representation for us anyway. They buy into the system. It does not work. It's dying. He ain't gonna come out and say that because he's a politician. They lie so much, and Masonic, they lie all the time, but they're not gonna come out and say it. Breakfast Clubs is a bastion of the emotional, written, race, fear mongering, but we give them credit for inviting Elder to speak. That's what they will call the Breakfast Club. They've always been that. Who cares? This ain't got nothing to do with left and right. This is mainstream media in general. I don't care if you're from the right or the left. They all do the same BS, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. While they clearly have no response for over an hour, Larry doing what Larry does, like he always do, a bunch of bullshit, by the way, but they do deserve credit for doing what the mainstream media will never do. They're part of mainstream media. They're not part of the mega mainstream media with those alphabetic letters. They support that shit too. It's on the entertainment level. They don't respect Larry Elder like that. They just put there to give him a shot. But in reality, people are going to destroy Larry Elder on the debate stage. You already know he's not going to win that. Y'all need to grow up and vote for who y'all want to vote for. Don't vote for a guy that doesn't give a damn about California's interests. Ask him why he lost against Gavin Newsom. And Gavin Newsom ain't shit either. So fuck both of them, technically, because California's going to be a wasteland in the future. I try to tell y'all, get out now and live somewhere else. Everybody's living in Vegas. So we already know that. Texas ain't nothing. We talking about Vegas. They got enough space. But give their audience an opportunity to actually learn facts. That's what the audience are derelict, man. They gonna vote who they gonna vote for. They ain't changing. Former police officer Tatum posted another clip and it must watch. Ain't nobody watching that bullshit. That's all it is. It's a bunch of law officer. I was looking at this shit. Ain't nobody watching that garbage. But anyways, that's all I have, but I'm just saying, but yeah, he obliterated him, but we ain't gonna play that, we ain't gonna get tagged like that. But yeah, he demolished him. But y'all can look at this on your own time. But I'm just saying, for so many people that don't know where fascism is, it's just pretty simple. I just told y'all, and I've done this before. I've did streams on it. And let's just see right here. And I just broke it down to you what it is. And that didn't sit well with me when they mentioned fascism. This right here is authoritarian nationalist political ideology. It did not say socialism and communism. It's a nationalist political ideology. That's what it says in the introduction. And then when you go down here, types of fascism, they were anti-communism and all that. They believe in totalitarianism and they're nationalists. So they promoted race and structure and an order. That's all it is, man. Like a lot of people don't realize it's authoritarianism. That's what fascism has always been, in a dominance of peoples. It dominates people. I don't know why people don't understand that. That's the nature of fascism. I mean, get real. Don't people understand that's the derelict behavior of Negroes that don't even do research like I do? But anyways, but enough on that. But shouts out to the people that support the channel, of course. And yeah, this Wednesday night, man, it's crazy, man. I had to speak on this, man. Like the Larry Elder thing, that shit is wild. And he bodied them because these are non-political experienced debaters. These are entertainers versus a politician. It was going to be a shit show. Y'all should know that by now. So with that, until next time, I'm signing off. Shalom to the people, Yisrael, of course, the Gentiles as well, of course. Pray to the east, the name of Yah. Shalom. And I'll see y'all. This is coming at Thursday Thrills, the 71st edition, this tomorrow, Thursday. So I'm signing off, and I'm out.